Hey everybody, welcome to SVL Free News and Views. This is Brian About Town, your host, and I'm down here with Mike Furman at Sweet Thing Bakery, just opened and renovated.
Yeah, great new location, a lot more space, and I'm sure Preston and his team have a lot more room in the kitchen as well.
So Preston, if you want something sweet, he's the man. This used to be the old Blackwelder's music building, so they renovated it. It looks great. A lot of things are happening in downtown Statesville. And I want to also thank our sponsors this week: Mitchell College, Randy Marion, Piedmont Healthcare, Blue Harbor Bank, Think Local, Bank Local, Fast Fill's Key to Escape Room, Statesville Family YMCA, and McDonald's of Iredell County, which is they sponsor our first responder. So we've got big news here, Mike. We're going to make a change in the format of the show. We had this one show, which has been kind of long, 5 segments, so we're going to break that up over the week.
Yeah, I think we've gotten some really good feedback from our viewers over the first 7 weeks. People like the content. In this day and age, it's tough for people to set aside 30 or 35 minutes for a show, so we thought we'd break it up into 3 shorter shows each week, and we'll go Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So you'll I'll give a little bit of the news before each show, what you can see on SVL Free News in depth online, and then I'll have maybe 1 or 2 segments, so probably under 10 minutes each show. Mm-hmm. So what's the big news this week? Well,
the big news, I think, for Statesville is David Bradley's leaving the Chamber of Commerce. He's been the president and CEO for 13 years. Sounds like he got a great opportunity to move to Athens, Georgia, and be ahead of the chamber there, and be closer to some family members. And so, congratulations to David for that.
He's done a lot for Statesville, and a lot's happened during his tenure.
And I think it's no coincidence when you look back over the last 13 years that he's been here. I've seen a lot of things have changed for the better.
Good.
Just a couple other things. We have a couple stories on our website that you might check out. Statesville Fire Department just honored their Officer of the Year and Firefighter of the Year. Also gave a life-saving award at their recent banquet. And then we had a story that we posted just this week also about the Iredell Statesville Schools Teacher of the Year. Her name is Christy Manners, career teacher she's at East Iredell Elementary, has devoted her entire career basically to working with exceptional children. So just a good story.
Excellent. Okay, so I'll give a little bit of entertainment news. You see I'm wearing the Theater Statesville shirt. I went out last Saturday night in the pasture between the Pasture House and the Sharp House, and we saw Midsummer Night's Dream. A fabulous show. A lot of hard work went into that, and it was magical that night because the moon was out. You're under in the little grove there, the pasture there. So I want to thank Theater Statesville. But this is the last weekend. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and get your tickets at StatesvilleTheater.com. Also this Friday, Mike, is another edition. We've had back-to-back Friday after 5. We had Daryl Harwood. Thank you all for watching that interview. He did a great job. Those original songs he has. He always has a good crowd.
It was a great turnout.
Oh, big turnout. But this week, if you like 80s, it's Kids in America, totally 80s tribute band. Are you an 80s geek?
Late 80s.
Okay.
Late 80s, right.
Okay. Well, you know, it's ironic that David is going to Athens, Georgia. That's the home of REM. Mm-hmm. I think we could put them 80s.
It's a great 80s band.
There you go. All right. So let's start with our first segment here. I went down to the town of Troutman, and they're having their big festival on Saturday, Mike. Independence
Day. They got the parade. They've got fireworks. Festival at the fairgrounds. All eyes are going to be on Troutman.
Okay. Let's see what they have in store.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, this is Brian About Town. We're here at the town of Troutman. It's getting ready for the 4th of July, and no other place to be than Troutman! And you see here the Troutman Independence Celebration, June 30th. We're going to have a parade. So let's start out talking about the parade. Who wants to talk about the parade?
Take it, Angela.
Take it, Angela.
This year we've got one of our largest parades. It's at 11 o'clock Saturday, June 30th. We've got over 180 entries in the parade and over 1,200 people signed up.
And Chief Selves, you'll be leading the parade?
I'll be leading the parade this year, and we just want to let everybody know that Highway 21 Main Street will be shutting down around 10:40. So try to get here early, get your spot saved up, because it'll be hard to get down here after that and stuff.
And if you're lucky enough, you'll see some dance moves by Todd. I'm going to show those dance moves.
Go ahead, a.k.a. Sweet Tea.
That's
Sweet
right.
Tea might even make an appearance at the festival.
All right, it's a festival. We'll talk about that. And Chuck, you're going to be there too?
The parade starts at the fairgrounds. It runs all the way to the town, to the school of Troutman Elementary. About a mile and 2/10 parade. Like you said, it's one of the biggest we ever had. It's our 14th consecutive parade for the veterans. It's an
3.
Independence Day parade. And it's the
Right.
Troutman Independence Day parade. Do not forget that.
That's right.
The
And
Troutman
Emily?
Terrifics are here.
That's it. And Emily, you'll be there.
I'll be there. This is our favorite day of the year, isn't it, guys?
It is, yes.
And Justin, things are exciting happening down here in Troutman.
Yes, they are. Oh man, all kinds of stuff. After the parade, we're going to have the festival, the Rotary Club sponsoring the festival again this year. Live music, beer and wine, tons of craft vendors, food trucks, a kids zone. Parking's $5 at the fairgrounds, but it's free admission into the event.
And I think the band is lead, not follow.
Correct.
Okay, so start your 4th of July week out right, go to the parade, then go out to the pool or the lake, get cooled off and come back at 5 and get ready to have a great time in Troutman and start the 4th off.
And right after the festival at dark is when the fireworks start.
Oh, fireworks!
Yeah.
You can't start off at the 4th any better than that. So thank you
right.
all,
Fire
and
and
come on out to Troutman.
1, 2, 3, go!
Down Town Troutman, and Justin Longino is leading the charge down there, and I think they're poised for growth. You said they're going from maybe like 2,000 or 3,000 people in town up to 10,000.
Right, over the next 5 years. And, you know, if you want to know what's happening in Troutman, pay attention to their town council meetings. They discuss everything in open. They have a lot of citizen involvement in terms of what kind of development they want to see and what they don't want to see, and where they want industry and where they want retail. And they're just started this strategic planning process actually last week, where they had citizens come out and tell this consultant exactly what they want and don't. So yeah, big things happen.
Okay, coming up next, this is an interview I really enjoyed. I filmed this interview, and tell the folks what we're going to see now.
Yeah, well, we met with Hans Lassiter, the principal at Statesville High School. He's just finished his first year at Statesville High, and now he's had a chance to reflect and really look at the data for student achievement and kind of tweak things a little bit for year 2, and just provided some great insight on the things happening at Statesville.
He is a dynamic and exciting guy. He makes you feel excited about it.
He's a very high energy individual. If you have a student there like I do, he calls once a week and leaves a voice message. And if you weren't awake when you answered the phone, you are about to
time there. Okay, so let's take a look.
Thanks, Brian. I'm here at Statesville Senior High School with Principal Hans Lassiter. Mr. Lassiter, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Now,
Yes,
you've
sir.
just completed your first year
Absolutely.
as a Greyhound, so we've got some questions for you, and look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Yes, sir.
This will be kind of rapid fire. Number 1, are entering 9th graders prepared for high school?
Speaking Statesville
Yes,
or
sir.
generally speaking?
Statesville.
The data suggests that the majority are. There are a few who will need some additional support, and that data comes from multiple sources, but primarily the 8th grade EOG. There is something called iReady, which does a prognosticating tool of their reading ability and math ability. Are they on grade level? A better than average number coming in the 9th grade are at grade level. Mm-hmm. There are a few, however, I would say 30% who will need some additional support.
Okay, 30%.
Yes, sir.
And what are you doing to prevent the students who are at risk from dropping out from doing so?
Absolutely. Prior to the cameras rolling, we were having some conversation. We are in really year 1 now of the restart philosophy. Mm-hmm. Last year was a planning year. This year is the execution year, year 1. So with freshmen, with a freshman academy, mm-hmm. the freshman academy will be an AVID, which is AVID, or advancement via individual determination, which insists the student has some intrinsic motivating factors to help them go from day to day. Mm-hmm. But it also helps them with literacy, with decision making, with personal responsibility, with how to take effective notes, how to communicate effectively, the soft skills that are needed to do better in school. Mm-hmm. So the freshman academy is one where it eases the transition from 8th to 9th grade. Rather than jumping in with both feet, they can put the big toe in and gradually immerse themselves over time through counseling, through advisement, through careful sequencing and scheduling of courses to make the 9th grade year more meaningful and productive. The 10th graders, my dear friends, we discussed before the cameras rolled the creation of an achievement cohort. The achievement cohort are students who, through the data, tell us need some additional support in the key areas of biology, math 2, and English 2. Mm-hmm. So we will create a year-long segment for them will be take the English language arts, biology, and math 2 curriculum and stretch it out over 180 instructional days as opposed to 90. And then that gives them the time and resources and energy they need to be successful in those endeavors. And they, of course, get to take the full complement of courses, elective-wise, everyone else does. But they will have those core courses over the course of the year. For juniors, the same thing your son went through with some advisement, identification of talent opportunities, the introduction of college trips to introduce them to the college-going mindset and mentality. And then seniors, as you will see, we meet with seniors all the time. The creation of the senior accountability board in the cafeteria, where what they need to know is posted and updated every 2 weeks. But we also make sure that we sit with each senior prior to the commencement of the senior year. We go over the transcript to make sure they are in classes that are required for graduation, that are in proper sequence, and that they need for either preparation for college or whatever endeavor they choose to enter in post-secondary. So it's all about developing one-on-one relationships with our students and careful sequencing and scheduling to make sure those students are ready.
Okay, and the data suggests you've had some success your first year in terms of dropouts and discipline problems.
Initially, the discipline was an issue because I think with any new administration, there's a change in expectation. So there was some increase in enhanced expectations, and we follow board policy. So the board policy addressed some of the major things that were a little, I won't say relaxed, but it was a pick your battle thing. So there may not have been the energy on cell phones or headphones or dress code or tardies, but those are all hindrances and barriers to effective teaching and learning. How can I compete with you if you're on your phone on Facebook and I'm teaching Algebra 2 or Math 2?
That'd be tough.
It's difficult. So we had to do a subtle convincing with our students. It is permissible within board policy. Josh, my children, anyone's child, in between classes, as they transition from class 1 to class 2, can have their earbuds in listening to their choice of music. That's perfectly in policy. But once you cross the threshold of the classroom, that's our world, is it not? That's our house. So when you enter our house, guess what has to happen, Mr. Furman? You have to adapt to the rules of the house. So the expectation was that the child or student takes the headphones off, puts the phone on vibrate or in the book bag, and for the 90 minutes you're in our home, you do as the homeowner asks. Simple. 95% of our students did that. But then you had that small percentage who wanted to do things their way. And as I stated earlier in the week, we're all given the free will. You can make whatever choice you choose. Understand, however, that there are consequences with making a choice that may go against the expectation. So, but we found that cell phones, electronic devices, dress code, and prompt arrival to school and class were the 4 big ones here at Statesville. And so we've made some strides to address those things moving forward to 18-19.
Okay. Now, you've lost a few good teachers during your first year.
Absolutely.
What are you doing now to recruit and retain the most highly qualified teachers you can get?
We cast a wide net. As I'm proud to look out in this camera, we lost some veteran educators early in the year and at mid-year. And I give a lot of kudos to our Human Resources Department led by Dr. Lassiter and Mr. Todd in helping us to post the positions, cast a wide net, and to draw a good applicant pool. We've hired some outstanding educators. We have one with his doctorate degree. We have another one coming who is completing their doctorate degree. We have one coming from early college upstairs. We have one coming from South Iredale to fill some key positions. So as of today, we have 2 math vacancies, and that's it. We hope to name a guidance counselor by the end of the day tomorrow. And then we have posted an interview for athletic director. But Ms. Denise Hayes, who was our AD, is still on board with us. She's just relinquished those duties.
Right.
So our turnover rate is actually fairly noble. I think it's right at or maybe even better than district average.
Okay.
So we're trying, and you just saw some teachers walk out. We are trying to build an atmosphere of collegiality, of trust, of mutual admiration, and one that you're comfortable. It's called teacher efficacy. How good do you feel about your profession? What we want to do is make you feel appreciated and welcomed and respected here at our school, increase efficacy, and at the same time promote an environment which is harmonious yet professional and effective. When you do that, you keep good people.
Okay. All right. Now, big picture. what's your long-term vision for this high school? When you look 3-4 years down the road, where do you think some of those key metrics are going to be compared to today?
We would hope that, number one, our academic achievement percentage rate would increase. Right now, we are, in my opinion, although we did show growth in the tested areas, we are nowhere near where I believe our school is potentially able to go. A lot of that is coming from the notion and idea, in fact, that some of our students are coming to us not necessarily prepared for the rigor of high school. So we have to meet that percentage of student where they are and bring them along. At the same time, for those students who are at grade level and who are high achievers and high flyers, continue to facilitate and offer an environment which is challenging and rigorous, one that is, I guess, exploratory. Here's the challenge that we have that we want to see here at Statesville. Rather than just be mere progenitors of teaching and learning, we want to be instigators of thought and learning. Anyone can stand in front of a class and hand out worksheets and say, okay, here are the directions, you're going to match this and fill in this blank, and they sit down and read the paper. Okay. We want to be those educators who provoke thought, thinking,
and critical
thinking, taking a look at a controversial topic. Let's go ahead. And I want your son, as he takes AP government politics, I want him to advocate for Sarah Huckabee Sanders not to have been removed or asked to leave the restaurant in Lexington, Virginia. Why should she have been asked to leave? Because of a differing political ideology. Your son has to take a stance as her defense attorney to keep her there. Tell me what high school you ever see doing that kind of activity. That's the kind of thing we do here at Statesville.
Well, in Debate Club, I know they're doing that already,
Absolutely.
and you want to move that into the classroom.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we want to carve and create a niche where we're thinking outside the cliche-ish box. We're doing innovative and exciting things in learning. And our students walk out of here feeling like, man, that was so cool. I've never seen this. I've always wanted to do this, and I got a chance to do it. And when they leave us and we survey them, or they come home to you, they say, Dad, man, we did this today in school. And they take it, it registers with them, and they take it with them for a lifetime. That's the kind of impact we want to have at Statesville, where our students will reflect back and think about what they learned and the skills they acquired here that will be valuable for a lifetime. That's the vision, sir.
All right, now the tough part, executing the vision. What are the first three things you're going to do this year to move closer to that vision?
So every year, Josh will tell you, your kids will tell you, every year we have what's called an expectation assembly. And here's what we're doing as a staff. Our entire staff will take part in a training called Capturing Kids' Hearts, August 16th and 17th. That is a student-centered, relationship-building protocol that insists that our teachers establish positive relationships with each and every one of their students to instill some hope, yet instilling expectation that we will not accept a 72 when you are perfectly capable and able to give us a 96. And if we need to resubmit this and you reword it or rework it to get it back to us where it is 96 quality, that's what we'll do. So it will be our job to extract the very best. So 100% of us need to be trained to do that. That's step one. Once we're all trained on getting the best out of our students, then the day-to-day effort is going to be there, from administration to whomever. The thing that I appreciate is that my colleagues and our students, I hope by and large, will tell you that I come into work August 1st this way, and when I shake the last hand on June 7th, 2019, I was this way. So consistency. So the training, the consistent application of such, and then we get to reap the results at the end of the year because we saw what we did was working. Now, you always have to tweak, you always have to go back and make modifications. We call it drop back and punt. That's fine. As a football aficionado, you know you had 4 downs to get 10 yards. When you're on 3rd and 8 and you see, you drop back and punt and try again. We do that as well. Where we see it's not working, we're flexible enough to make modifications to the plan, yet stick to the plan and do the things that work well for us. That's the plan.
All right. Well, very good. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us.
It was a pleasure. And as I always do, he'll tell you, listen, you are more than welcome in our school. We want you to visit with us. We want you to see firsthand what we're doing here at Statesville High School. All you have to do is come to the school, arrive at the front desk, and say, hey, I'd like a tour of your school. Is Mr. Lassiter available? If I'm not available, one of our assistant principals or special assistants will give you a great tour of our school. You can observe instruction, social settings, class exchange, and you get a chance to see how great our students and faculty are and how well they communicate together. We are a jewel in the jewelry store. And it is going to be a process where we're going to shine that diamond, and we're going to be one of the better high schools that your children and you as a community will get to enjoy. We ask for the opportunity to serve your student and for you to invest in Statesville High School.
Thank you.
Yes,
What I like
thank
about the
you.
interview too is Hans he lays it out there. He's very transparent, and he really has the kids' best interest from top to bottom. You know, the excelling kids and those who are struggling, he wants them all to benefit from this program.
And I think he realizes there's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
And the main thing is in education, you have to try lots of different things. And if something's not working, try something else.
That's right. That's right. So thank you for that interview, and thank you, Hans, and good luck for a good year over at Statesville Senior High. Okay, coming up next, we've been doing a lot on agriculture, and this I felt like I wanted to go out. I went to Ben Shelton's dairy farm a couple weeks ago, but this week I went out to the Howard family farm. Brian Howard talks about the family farm. I asked him what the challenges are and were for being owning a family farm, and he talked about the farm local, eat local. He said there's challenges there because you got to get the word out where to get the food, and you'll hear what he has to say. Brian, thank you for having me out here today. I'm up here at your farm. This is the Howard family farm. Last week we talked to Ben Shelton at Rocky Creek Dairy about dairy farming, which is number one in Iredell County and all of North Carolina. But agriculture is king in Iredell County. And Brian, I want to talk to you about what does it mean to have a family business, a family farm?
Well, it's got its challenges. You know, we if something messes up, it's on you.
It's on you.
It's all on you. It's real rewarding when you have a good year, and real disheartening when you have a bad one.
Of course, we see you at the Thursday evening farmers market, and you bring your produce to town, and you try to. We've been talking about farm to plate, here in Iredell County, and you're one of the best ways to support that.
That's right. That's right. It's everything we sell comes off of this farm here, and we have some restaurants in town that do business with us. Risto's and 220 both do business with us, and they try to use what we got when we got it.
Right. We tried to we had an interview with Matt Linhart, and he talked about the NC 10% program. That's all focused on
Absolutely.
Local food. Now tell us. Now you're a third generation.
On this farm, yes.
Right. Okay. And for you, what do you think is the most challenging part?
Well, you got labor's a big challenge, trying to find labor, and another big challenge up for us is the grocery stores. We've seen, I guess, 5 years ago, grocery stores started buying into this buy local, and they say they're local, but it can be 500 miles away,
Right.
so that's not real local, and the grocery stores have made it a whole lot more.
So you would like to see more of the local supermarkets buy from you more often?
Right, and they don't. They still buy from the large farms, but they market it as local.
And you and I talked off camera a little bit that we really would like to see a permanent location for the farmers market. It's kind of moved around a little bit.
Absolutely.
And talk to Brian about that. He's got a lot of ideas, and he'll be glad to share those with you if he goes out to the Pecan Park.
Right.
And do that. So give me a quick rundown. What all do you grow out here? You see flowers behind me now.
My daughter, 14 years old, she took this on, and she's doing pretty good with it. We help her a little bit.
All right.
She does these flowers. We're doing pick your own flowers. If
Come
you
on
call
out.
up here and make an appointment where you can come pick your own flowers. And we do strawberries. We just finished up strawberries. We do pick your own strawberries, and fixing to start sweet corn this week.
Okay.
So we'll have sweet corn, and then we have We have a corn maze in the fall with we have pick your own pumpkins in the fall.
Oh.
That's been a big hit.
Okay, so come up here in the fall, right before I guess Halloween and before
Right.
Thanksgiving, pick your own pumpkin. So Brian, I wish you well, and thank you for allowing us to go farm to plate right here in Iredell County.
Yes,
And
sir.
now, where else do you sell? Is that the only farmers?
We sell Thursday evening and we do Saturday morning behind the Vance Hotel.
Okay, so there you go.
The Rotary Market.
The Rotary Market on Saturday morning, and on Thursday evening, come by and see Brian, and he'll sell you some freshly grown produce right here in Iredell County.
That's right.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Mike, you see there, Brian talks about the challenges of a family farm, a smaller farm. He's up against a lot of odds there, and he's working so hard. He also wants to participate in the farm to plate movement, but he's talking about how sometimes it's challenging to get the bigger chains to buy his produce here.
Yeah, I think you see in the bigger cities, these farmers markets are big operation. Multiple days a week, rain or shine, have a good turnout. It's a place where restaurant owners can go to buy produce, fresh produce, and hopefully in the future we'll see Statesville move along those lines.
Right. Okay, and also we want to remind everybody that starting next week we're going to 3 shows a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, shorter shows, and I'll give you a kind of a recap of the headlines each show, and you can go on SVLFreeNews.com to get your email edition, so you have your news ready to go every morning at 5 a.m.
All right.
Are you punching that button every morning at 5 a.m.?
No, I'm punching it about 11 p.m. and just not sending it out.
Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you all for the feedback, and we got some good things coming down the road. We can't tell you about yet, but there's some additions down the road we'll let y'all know about. So thank you for tuning in. This has been SVL Free News and Views.